Hey friends, it's May and I am shaking things up just a little bit. With the new Minecraft Live announcement and the 3 mobs that we can vote for, I thought it'd be fun to build some of those mobs as part of our 30 Days of Mobs series. So today we're working on Hey Sniffer! I kind of think this one is the cutest of the 3, and I'm hoping this is the one that wins, so this is the one I'm going to build. I'm not sure if I'm going to build the other 2 as of yet, but for sure you guys are getting a Sniffer. And here is just a quick look at the Sniffer that we are going to be building. This one is not a full 1x1 conversion. It is a very large mob if you look at it in the 1x1 view from what we have. We don't have a whole lot. Like, a lot of it is concept art. Yeah, there's just not a lot to go off of, but I decided to do my best and try to make it as close as possible. And this is what we've got. So let's take a look at the supplies that you're going to need for the Sniffer. You're going to need 26 black terracotta, 108 red terracotta, 9 stripped mangrove wood, 25 yellow terracotta, 9 orange terracotta, 99 moss, 28 mangrove planks, 8 vines, 5 moss carpets, 26 green concrete, 19 green terracotta, 11 flowering azalea leaves, 3 mangrove stairs, 3 ladders, 1 mangrove trapdoor, and 16 pieces of string. I also put down here some extra vines and some grass for the top as for you to decorate as you feel like. And this is what our blueprint is going to look like for the Sniffer. For layer 1, we're going to start down here in the bottom left corner as per usual. And this whole layer is done in black terracotta. I chose black terracotta over black concrete because it's a less harsh color. It's not quite so like stark black. Now, that was a super messy way of doing my usual pattern of like a circle, so sorry about that. Hope it doesn't matter too much since it's a single layer. You're also going to want to place your ladder, which I did not grab. Let me grab a ladder real quick. And I would recommend putting your ladder on this back left hoof. I'm assuming it's a hoof back here. So there is your aerial view of layer 1. For layer 2, we're going to start in this bottom left corner again with a stripped mangrove wood, and then beside it we're going to place a red terracotta, and we're going to come forward with the next bit. We need 1 red terracotta here, a stripped mangrove wood here, 2 yellow terracotta, and then we want to turn to create the bill. It's kind of platypus-like, so we're going to place 4 pieces of yellow terracotta, 3 and 4, and then back towards the hooves you need 1 more yellow terracotta, 1 red terracotta, and 1 stripped mangrove wood. Then you want to place a red terracotta here on the hoof, and we're going to fill this entire space in with the red terracotta. After filling in the space, you want to come over here to the hoof and we're going to place down 3 more pieces of red terracotta. And then on this hoof, we're also going to place 4 pieces of red terracotta. On this back one, it is 4 pieces of red terracotta. On this one, we need 4 pieces of red terracotta and the ladder. And then on this middle left one, we need 4 pieces of red terracotta. And on this front left one, we need to just fill in with 2 more pieces of red terracotta. And this is what your aerial view for layer 2 should look like. For layer 5, we're going to start in this bottom left corner of the bill, and we're going to place an orange terracotta, then 5 more orange terracotta, 3, 4, and 5 is in the turn, Next we have 3 red terracotta. 3. We're going to also place a red terracotta here. And for this section, we're going to work in 2s on our way back. We need 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta here. This one has a stripped mangrove wood on the outside and a red terracotta on the inside. 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, then a stripped mangrove wood on the outside and a red terracotta on the inside. Then we want to cross over to this side over here. We're going to make that crossover with 3 pieces of stripped mangrove wood across the back. Next, we need a red terracotta and a stripped mangrove wood. Here we need 2 red terracotta, and then place that ladder. After this, we need 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, 2 red terracotta, a stripped mangrove wood on the outside, and a red terracotta. Then we need 2 red terracotta here, here. On this one, we have a stripped mangrove wood on the outside, and a red terracotta here, and then 2 red terracotta. Moving forward to complete the bill, we need 2 pieces of red terracotta, and then an orange terracotta. We've gotten the outside done, but we still need to fill in this centerpiece here. I would recommend hopping down in here to work on this middle section. The first thing we're going to do is right in this gap that we have, we're going to place those mangrove stairs that you have. Then from here, we're just filling the rest of the belly section in with the mangrove planks as kind of a flooring for inside the build. And then that should be it. And this is an aerial view of layer 3. For layer 4, we're down in this bottom left corner at the beginning of the bill over here with a yellow terracotta, and then 5 more yellow terracotta with 1 in that turn there. Then we need a black terracotta for the eye, a red terracotta. Then we're going diagonal out here with a stripped mangrove wood, a red terracotta, a stripped wood, 5 red terracotta, 5, and 2 stripped wood. And then across the back here we have another stripped wood, 3 terracotta, and 2 stripped wood. Going forward, we have 5 red terracotta, 5, 1 stripped mangrove wood, and 3 red terracotta. Then on this diagonal here, we're going to place a red terracotta, a black terracotta, and a yellow terracotta. The last thing to do on this layer is to come over here and place that trapdoor down. And here's your aerial view for layer 4. For layer 5, we're going to finish off this bill that we have going on here. So we're going to start here with a yellow terracotta. Then we need the nostrils, so an orange terracotta, yellow terracotta, orange, and a yellow. And right behind this is an entire row of yellow terracotta. Now we're going to also cover parts of this row here. We're going to cover this with the mossy carpet. And then you're going to want to place down a vine that hangs off of here. If you want to do all 8 pieces of vines, they will go on this layer here, or you can just let it grow. So we'll place those, we'll see where they are at the end of this build, and if we need to add more, we'll do that. Next, we're going to come right here where the eye is, and we're going to place red terracotta all the way across. And then we'll do the same for this row right behind here. Now for the body portion, we're going to swap over to our green blocks. We're going to start here with a moss block, 2 concrete, a moss block, 2 green terracotta, and 3 moss blocks. Then when you turn here, you're going to place another moss block, a flowering azalea, a moss block, 2 terracotta, and a flowering azalea. Then on this side over here, you're going to place 2 moss blocks, 1 green terracotta, 2 moss blocks, 1 flowering azalea, 2 green terracotta, and a moss block. And this is what your layer 5 should look like. For layer 6, we're going to start in this corner because the bill and head are finished. We're going to start here with a moss block, then crouch because you want 3 more moss blocks coming off of that, a flowering azalea, and a green concrete, and then a moss block. Next, you want a green concrete, a moss block, a flowering azalea, 5 moss blocks, and a green concrete. Then we need 2 moss blocks, 1 concrete, 1 moss block, 1 terracotta, and 1 moss block. And going towards the front, we need a moss block, a green terracotta, 2 moss blocks, a green concrete, a moss block, a green terracotta, and an additional moss block. And this is your aerial view of layer 6. I will say I did take a little bit of creative liberties here. There's no images that include like flowers on the Sniffer, so if you prefer not to use the flowering azaleas, you can use any kind of leaf block you want, or you can just use more moss blocks. For layer 7, we're going to start here with a green concrete, then a flowering azalea, a green terracotta, a moss block, a green concrete, and 2 moss blocks. And then on this right hand side, we need 2 more moss blocks, a green terracotta, a flowering azalea, and a green concrete. Then a moss block, green concrete, moss block, and green concrete. Turning here, we're going to alternate a moss block, green concrete, moss block, green concrete, and then 2 moss blocks. Along the left side here, we have 2 green concretes, a flowering azalea, a green concrete, 3 moss blocks, and a green concrete. And this is what your aerial view for layer 7 will look like. On layer 8, we're going to start in this corner with a moss block and 2 more moss blocks. And we're actually going to start working our way towards capping off this build, so you might also want to place your light source in there. Next, we need a green terracotta, 2 moss blocks, and a green terracotta. Working our way back across now, we have 2 moss blocks, a green concrete, 2 moss blocks, and a green concrete, and then a moss block. Here we have 3 moss blocks, a green concrete, a flowering azalea, a moss block, and a green terracotta. On the next row we have 2 moss blocks, a green concrete, a moss block, a flowering azalea, a moss block, and a green concrete. This next row is super simple. It is moss blocks all the way across. On this row you need a moss block, a green terracotta, a moss block, a green terracotta, and 3 moss blocks. Nope, 3. On this row we need 2 moss blocks, a green terracotta, and then 4 moss blocks. Next we need 2 moss blocks, 2 green concrete, and 3 moss blocks. 3. Here we need 5 moss blocks, 4, 5, a green terracotta, and a moss block. On this very last row, we need 3 moss blocks, a flowering azalea. Lastly, we need 2 moss blocks and a green concrete. And this is your aerial view for layer 8. However, we're not done yet. I want to keep working on this. It's just a little bit different than our usual tutorials. So back down here, I would recommend sprinkling grass in a few places where wherever you feel like it doesn't have to be uniform, or where I've placed it, just kind of make it look a little overgrown and spread out. Because I like the way that feels. It almost gives that shaggy look that you can see in the Sniffer. And then I would recommend throwing in some vines. With the vines, you probably should grab some string. So I have some string. Your vines will spread down and they'll spread sideways. So if you don't want them to go anywhere, you would place string around that. So that vine will stop there. It might still spread in this green area, which I'm okay with for now, but that's how you would kind of control how the vines grow. So I would put in some vines here just to kind of texturize the side, give it a little more of a shaggy feel. And I don't want that vine to go any further, and I don't want it to spread in the rest of the red. So these are just some ideas of ways you can kind of enhance the look a little more. Just like that. And it doesn't look like our vines grew at all. They didn't grow at all on the face. So you want to have vines that go all the way down the face here, because there is like a little layer of green in the face. But again, you don't want it to spread, so you're going to have to, you're going to have to place strings on all of the sides here to keep it from spreading and just give that single layer of green that we need. And we're going to have to do that on this side as well. And then string below, string on the sides. And there we go. So now we are complete. That is our Sniffer. Normally what I would do is I would fill these 2 builds with something. A house and some kind of habitat is usually my go-to. However, since these are new to us mobs, I don't have anything I can put in it. I don't know a whole lot about them, except for they kind of come from the water and they like plants. That's about it. So I'm not going to fill these ones this time. I think it's a pretty decent length of a tutorial on its own. I don't think you need me to. Use your imagination, make a little bit of a studio apartment, and what you hope the habitat might look like for the Sniffers. With that said, that's going to be everything today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I appreciate you guys so heckin' much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments, which of the 3 mobs are you going to be voting for next week? I'm really excited. I love that they do this in Minecraft now, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am, even if you're not voting for the Sniffer. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.